friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Aylin, and today we are going to be doing my November TBR. This sweater honestly just kind of gives me November vibes. Am I stupid, or like does this give anyone else November vibes? I think it's the colors, the pattern, the fact that it's a sweater. It all just does it for me. So in the month of October, I had a crap reading month. I read like 3 or 4 books, and I'm not saying that if you read 3 or 4 books, that is bad. I'm just saying for my personal average, that is not great. Like 8 to 12 books, I would say, is my average. This is a pretty ambitious TBR, but these are, as with every TBR, just the things that I'm thinking could get me out of this reading slump. Things I think I might want to read, and will make me happy and just bring me a lot of joy, because I've just been really sad lately, so I'm definitely needing the joy. Alright, so for this TBR, I have a lot of things that are like potential options that I'm not as certain about, and I have a lot of things that I want to read that I feel a little bit more confident that I will potentially read, but again, no guarantees with me ever in a TBR. Alright, so let's start with the audiobooks and ebooks, just because those are the ones that are most likely to slip the forefront of my mind quickly because I don't have them here physically. So to start with ebooks, the first one that I potentially want to get to, I'm like 55% of the way through, and I've been reading since the summer, I believe, is Heavy Crown by Sophie Lark. This is the 6th and final book in the Brutal Birthright series. We are following Sebastian and Yelena. This is mafia romance set in Chicago, and it is the prequel series to the Kingmaker series. Still reading this, slowly making my way through it. Would really like to finish this one. I kind of just like read a bit of it whenever I remember to pick up my Kindle. Sophie Lark's writing is really accessible and easy, so I'm enjoying it. It's fine. It's not my favorite, which I'm super bummed about because it was the one I was most excited for, but it's still good. This one, the tropes are like marriage of convenience. There's like a lying thing in there, so if you don't like that, you might not like this one, but it's like with the mafia. Definitely an abusive parent, and look up trigger warnings for this. So far, one of the biggest ones that I've crossed is lost parent mentioned. I don't believe it happens on page, or at least not as far as I've read. And then sexual assault. So be wary of that. And emotional parental abuse as well. A lot of content warnings. Look them up because I'm sure I've missed some, or I'm just not aware of some others, but those are the ones, like I said, that I have come across and remember. Then we have Swamp Sniper, which is the 3rd book in the Misfortune series. This is a cozy mystery series set in sinful Louisiana, following a CIA agent who is hiding out kind of like in a witness protection program type thing. And she teams up with a couple of older ladies in town to solve the town's mysteries. It is chef's kiss, amazing, absolutely wonderful, and so much fun. I'm really loving this one, and I accidentally bought the next 10 books in the series this morning because I was sleep deprived. So, I mean, I've already read the first 2. This is the 3rd book, but, you know, hopefully I enjoy the series enough to read the next 10. I have to. I spent money on them. And the last ebook that I want to get to, potentially, this one is less of a guarantee, is Guild by Raven Kennedy. I've been reading this one for quite a while, and I'm enjoying it. It's just a fantasy romance, or a romantasy. This is book 1 in the Plated Prisoner series. It's a King Midas reimagining with a lot of content warnings, so definitely look them up before you read this. I'm also like halfway through this one and just haven't finished it yet. Can you tell I'm in a reading slump? I hope to eventually finish this one if I read a lot of books on my Kindle, which I'm hoping to. Moving on to audiobooks, the first one that I want to read is All the People You Hate Are Going to Die, or Everyone You Hate Is Going to Die by Daniel Sloss. He is a comedian that I have followed for quite a long time, and I really enjoy his stand-up. He has 2 specials on Netflix and then 1 on HBO Max. If you have those streaming services, I highly recommend them. He does have like a darker humor, so if that's not really your thing, you might not like him, but I really enjoy his comedy, and he wrote a book. I've been reading a lot of memoirs and like self-help, but not really self-help books lately, which is not typically in my wheelhouse, so it's been odd, but I'm enjoying it. Yeah, and I like his witty take and writing style. I just think it's all very fun. So I started this one in late October and just didn't finish it, but I would potentially like to finish it this month. And then the last audiobook that I don't physically have with me, but I do want to mention, is A Very Merry Bromance by Lyssa Kay Adams. I'm starting to read my holiday romances, and I am so very excited about it, especially this one, because I feel like I haven't really read very many holiday romances in the past that I've been super excited about. But this one I'm like extra excited about because it's part of the Bromance Book Club series, which is a series about the most successful and wealthy men in Nashville that are having trouble with their love lives in some capacity. So they all come together and they read these romance novels, which they call the manuals, I believe. Yeah, some of them are second chance romances, some of them are hate to love, others are like childhood friends to lovers. It's all very cute, very swoon worthy, and the characters that we are following in this book are also characters that we have met in other books, and I'm very excited, and I've been anticipating this story for quite a while, so the fact that it is a holiday romance makes me all the more excited. Plus, a super like niche detail that I love in romances is when the heroine is a lawyer, and our heroine is a lawyer, and I'm so freaking pumped. I'm hoping to listen to this one tonight actually at work. I think it's gonna be a good time. All right, I have one more audiobook, but I do have it here with me, and that is Hook, Line, and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. I am maybe like 30% of the way through this. Where I'm at physically with it is not where I'm actually at, because like I said, I have the audiobook for this one, so I would really like to finish this off. I loved It Happened One Summer when I read it earlier this year, and a lot of people say that this one doesn't hold up as well as that one, but I still think that I'm going to love it, especially because I have the space in between the two books. I just feel like I'm not going to be comparing this one to its predecessor nearly as much as I would have if I had read it immediately after. So I think I'm going to love this one. This one is Hannah and Fox's story. The first one, we are following Piper and Brendan. It's kind of like a Schitt's Creek Alexis Rose take, if you've seen that show. And in this one, like I said, we are following Piper's sister Hannah and Brendan's best friend Fox. So it's a friends to lovers story, forced proximity. It's going to be so good. They bond over music a million times, yes. The next book is a book that not only have I been anticipating reading, I feel like y'all have been anticipating me reading this book, and I think this month could very well be the month that I read As Good as Dead by Holly Jackson. I'm nervous, you guys. I'm so freaking nervous. Holly Jackson is coming out with a new book, I think this year or early next year, which I'm also very excited about, and I still need to read the novella in this series, but I feel like this is like part of my brand. In my brand kit, if that makes sense. And I could not be more excited. This is the third book in the A Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, and I have heard that Pip and Ravi are on the run from a serial killer in this one. So I am very excited. I can't wait to vlog my experience and also be back with Pip and Ravi. It's just gonna be a good time. I rewatched one of my old vlogs for this series to kind of refresh my memory, and it got me hyped. So I'm not making any promises, but like potentially. The next one that I have is one of my most recent purchases, and that is Orochi Volume 2 by Kazu Umez. This is the author slash mangakon of the Drifting Classroom series, which are very popular horror mangas. And I read Orochi Volume 1 earlier this year, and I liked it, but I'm hoping that the further I get with these stories, the more I will like it. It's a bunch of short stories. I think I'm going to enjoy them. I hope I'm going to enjoy them. I have the book now, and manga is easy to fly through. Plus, I really like these like perfect editions that they're coming out with. I think that they're super pretty. I like pretty things. What can I say? Then we have another book that I plan to do a dedicated reading vlog for. The first one being As Good as Dead. I do plan on doing a dedicated reading vlog for that. And that is It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I know everyone and their mother is either reading this book or has already read this book. I am 94 pages in. I love a coho book. They're not the most extravagant books ever, not the most creative plots or characters, Definitely some of the most creative names though. I'm annotating it, I'm vlogging it. It's gonna be a good time all around. So I hope that you guys are excited to see that video. Co-host writing is just so easy to fly through, and that's really what I need. So enter It Starts With Us. Then I have another horror manga that I have been saying I would read all year, and that is Uzumaki by Junji Ito. This was in the video where my boyfriend gave me a TBR, and I still haven't read it a year later, which is problematic. He read it, I didn't. But I've heard that this is Junji Ito's best work, and they're adapting it into a film, I believe. I need to read it. I need to read it. It needs to happen. I think I'm just nervous because everyone says that this is his best, and I'm worried I won't like it. But they say it's his best, so like, how could I not like it? I loved Gyo, and nobody said that was his best. And the last book that I really feel like I could get to this month is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. I read the first 2 books in the A Touch of Darkness series, the Hades and Persephone series by Scarlett St. Clair, and I really enjoyed them. I still need to read the 3rd and 4th book. I don't know if the 4th book is even out yet, to be honest, but either way, I own the 3rd one and still haven't read it, so that's a problem. But I heard, who was it? Madison from Princess of Paperback, I think, say that she's going to read the sequel this month, and hearing her talk about it and her excitement surrounding the series got me really, really excited to read this series. So it's a vampire romance. I've had it on my TBR for quite a long time. I would really, really like to read it. I also have some other vampire romances on my shelves now, so if I read this one, maybe I could marathon them, or it would just set me up very well to read the sequel, which I believe comes out this month. And lastly, the 2 books that I don't know if I'll read, if I'm being honest, but I could potentially read them, and they are options. They are on my radar. We have Hooky Volume 1 and Volume 2. These just feel like such fun fall graphic novels to read. They were originally published as webtoons. I'm excited. I think that they could be fun. These are about these twins that miss the bus to magic school, and they end up getting like exiled from their town because the magic school thinks that they did that on purpose when they did not do that on purpose. And then it's like a bunch of characters along the way, and it's like a found family, it kind of seems like. So I'm excited. I think that these could be really cute. Whether I get to them this month or not, I am excited to read these. Those are all of my potential November reading plans. Let me know down in the comments below what your reading plans for November are, and if you are more of a mood reader, or it doesn't matter, and like once you've given yourself a TBR, you stick to it. I wish I was that way, but I am just not that girl, if I'm honest. But if you've been around my channel for any length of time, I'm sure you've put that together yourself. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you're doing well, reading mentally and otherwise, and I really hope to see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.